DK Gator Nation says, speaking of Notre Dame, number 5 in the AP poll. Steve, can you give me, I know you're a huge fan of Notre Dame, big supporter of those guys. Give me your thoughts on that, on them being ranked number 5 after a lackluster of a year last year, losing to Cincinnati, kind of on the outside looking in, not ever having to play a bowl game, losing their head coach, getting a great, I would say pretty excited. To me, it's that Billy Napier vibe for them. They're very excited for this new head coach. Are you happy with that top 5 voting, or do you feel that it's a bit, as we'd like to say, Archman overrated?
Yeah, look, I think Notre Dame always gets the benefit of the doubt on being great. It just feels like every year is Notre Dame's great year. Now, look, they've been very competitive for the last couple of years. They've made it into the playoffs last year. A couple of years ago, they played well. They've played good football. They do play a pretty rough schedule. I will give them that. But top 5 with a new coach, I think that's a little bit overrated considering their schedule. They've got USC, they've got Michigan, they've got a tough schedule out there.
Do you think a top 10? You think they're reasonably a top 10 school?
I'll give them a top 10. I'll give them a top 10, but top 5 is too much to ask for that team.
So here's the thing. I think there's the first AP polls that come out are always a little bit over the top. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fact of ratings, right? What's going to sell the most? What's going to get the most eyes? And I think with Ohio State and Notre Dame playing that first week, that's a big factor, right? So Texas A&M is 6. I don't think Texas A&M should be over Notre Dame. Utah 7. That's a healthy spot for them after a pretty solid finish. Michigan at 8. I think Michigan should probably be a little bit higher, but I'm sure they lost some guys, so I get that. Oklahoma at 9, I'm fine with that. Baylor at 10, I'm fine with that. Oregon at 11, that's okay. Oklahoma State, I feel like I got a little bit of love there. NC State, not horrible. So look, if you look at that, I don't feel like Notre Dame should be underneath those guys, to be honest with you. I know it seems crazy. We feel like, why is Notre Dame up there every year? Because they kind of fall flat. But when you take a look at it, I wouldn't put them behind any of those other teams, to be honest with you. So look, as much as I would love to sit here and say that it's an overrated play and that they shouldn't be there, because that was my initial thought, was like, this is ridiculous. I think they deserve to be there, but I also think a lot has to do with the fact that they're playing Ohio State first. The same reason why, look, I think Utah probably got a little more of a nudge for it being the Gator and that being a big game at 7:30 at night. I really do, because look, it's gonna sell. Now Florida fans are even more fired up to beat a top 10 team their first game, right? If they're like 11 or 12, sure, we are still gonna be excited, but now 7, top 10. Well, you better Utah, you better crank the heat up there over there in your practice facility, okay? Because this is about to get serious.
Which we will talk about here in just a moment.
Bro, Florida wins this. Sure. Florida cracks top 25. So again, now you've given the Florida more juice. So look, these first few weeks are just to kind of, how can we just stir up the college football season as if we're not excited enough? How do we toss it up a little bit?
How do we make it a little bit more spicy?
Yeah, but Georgia coming off a natty is third. Now I get it. Again, they lost a lot of guys, so I get it. And look, this is why Bama's ranked first, because we talked about their team. They are stacked. And I actually talked to my buddy today, who's a big Buckeyes guy. They are stacked, dude. Ohio State, their team. So they've got their bunch of juniors, seniors coming back, but they're freshmen, they're redshirt freshmen, all 5-star, just absolute studs. Like, Ohio State is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
We were even years. And their coach is not going anywhere. He loves it there. I'd be hard-pressed, minus the NFL, to see that he goes anywhere aside from staying with Ohio State, which, with what they're doing from recruiting, man, that's a scary thought that those guys are going to be there consistently year in, year out.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking good for a long time, too. So Ohio State, that's going to be a threat.